Alrighty, I don't know why I'm trying to do this with the migraine still, but hey, you know what? Let's just go. I'd rather correct any mistakes than just brush them under the rug in a comment or something. So let's go into it, guys. Let's take a look at 3.11. As always, thank you to my Discord, Haruka on Discord, and Gamepress for helping me compile this data and putting it all together for a presentation such as this. So 3.11 is now out. Let's start with weapons, and let's take a look-see at everything, shall we, guys? Alrighty. So, alright, let's start with weapons, and let's start with Athena. So, Athena got Concealed Blade, which is a Wo Dao weapon with additional might. Not bad, considering she already had that. Now, despite what my stupid ass may have said previously, when I said Vantage, it was Desperation. I don't know why I said Vantage, but it is Desperation built into her weapon, and that is a good enough B skill to have in a weapon form. It should allow her to do pretty well. I'm sure there's already Athena fans out there who are scrambling to, fodder off Astrum and give her Wrath already. So, I want to know, to those Athena fans, does this tick that box? Does this allow you to do a lot more crazy things out there? I think it will. Honestly, it really blends at least fairly well with that. I think people tend to forget with refines that, well, even though I'm still kind of like, it's alright, it's still something that will push her fairly far. And I think that is something that will be said with a lot of these weapons right now. It's not exactly Choose Your Legends 1 worthy, but hey, still pretty good. Moving on, we have Renown Bow. Now, I'm sure no one has experienced the whole effect of a Brave weapon with additional might, right? We've never had that before, but okay. Jokes aside, Renown Bow is a Brave bow with additional might. But when you refine it, it also gains an additional effect where foes within 2 spaces during combat will have their attack and defense reduced by 4. That is not bad. That's not bad for Gordon, and it's not bad for his allies either, because that allows them to at least have a little bit more defense and, do a little bit more damage as well. Especially for Gordon, since he's already quite tanky in that way. It really can help him out, give him that little bit extra oomph that he does need when it comes to attacking. But the one fun one, the one that I'm absolutely dying to see, I'm gonna just issue a challenge to anyone watching, you Tsubaki fans out there, Golden Naginata. It reminds me of Cliff, because it basically is Cliff in this regard. So, Golden Naginata, what that does is that it, Naginata, saying it correctly, that accelerates special trigger cooldown. Typical slaying weapon, but also at the start of combat, if foe's attack is greater than the unit's attack plus 3, aka, more attack than Tsubaki, it will grant Tsubaki additional stats plus 3 in all of them. So, yeah, that's pretty nice. But when you go to his refine, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 70%, well, he will also deal an additional 7 damage. Which, it just seems tailor-made for him, honestly. He already has quick riposte, so why not? Just why not add an additional effect that will go on and layer that on top of it? It's actually custom built for him in this regard. So, not bad, and I really want to see what you guys can do with that, especially those plus 10 Tsubakis out there. I want to see what you guys can make up. That's the challenge I'm issuing for you. Because he has like 25 natural attack. I really want to know how far this will take him. Now, let's move on to Kana. And since I don't remember where my female Kana is, let's go into the Sun Dragonstone, shall we? So the Sun Dragonstone works very oddly. It works if the foe initiates combat, or if a bonus granted by a skill like Rally or Hone is not active on that foe, grants plus 4 to every stat to the unit during combat. Of course, we also have the adaptive damage that comes with Dragonstones. Then, when you refine it, it gains even more effects in the effect of an attack and speed lull. Meaning that during combat, they're going to be hit by attack and speed minus 3, and if they happen to have a Fortify, a Hone, or whatever else that might be there in those 2 stats, they will be negated. So, that's definitely a big benefit to our little girl there, and will definitely make Papa proud, I think, but whoo boy, those are some interesting weapons, I will say. Still really interested in Tsubakis. Everyone else got a decent to good weapon upgrade, and no, none of them had Vantage. Oh god, it hurts. Alright, let's take a look at what we got when it comes to new character stats, shall we? Alright, so as always, thank you to Gamepress and of course Haruka for helping me out with this. And let me just say, when it comes to this, red means Super Bane, green means Super Boon. So if you happen to see that, you may want to avoid it a little bit. Or, go for it, depending on which one it is. So let's start off with Garrick. Now, Garrick has a pretty substantial HP, as well as a good enough attack and speed lineup there. I mean, 37 attack, not bad. 36 speed, not bad at all. Remember, he does have Darting Blow 4, and I'm just looking over everything. I will say, obviously, you don't want to get that Super Bane in defense. That could really hurt him a bit more, but the Super Boon and Res means that he could perhaps run himself a little bit more defensively when it comes to magic users as well, and that's actually not too bad. BST is 172, and that's something, a key number that guys, I want you to pay attention to at least, when it comes to not only these new units, but also the free units that we're getting, 3 and 4 star unit, because that seems to be the average around here. Alright. Honestly, when it comes to Garrick, though, if you happen to get, say, plus speed in boons, I don't even know if you have to really run the full effect of Darting Blow, because you're starting to get really crazy speeds, but hey, he will definitely be not only speedy, but also quite good at being, a fire sweep axe user. I don't know how far else we can go with that. I don't know if it's really going to break the bank when it comes to axe units. Considering the fact that it's infantry axe units, we haven't had many of those in a long time. It might be fun to see. Alright, so moving on to Yuan. I'm really actually quite surprised with him. Mostly because of his attack, his defense, and his res. Mostly his attack, though. Also his speed. Mostly because, I was expecting a typical Red Tome res tank, which is something that we've had for ages, from GHBs to Tempest Trials. It's been something of a joke. And when I first saw him, I'm like, oh great, here we go again. But no, 37 attack, not bad. Also has a Super Boon in it. Good for him. Speed at 33, if you happen to get a boon in that could actually be very reliable, very good at what it can he can really go places. And then of course, 35 res is quite awesome. And that also has a super boon, so therefore he will also be a fantastic res tank. Hopefully won't be doubled either. So all in all, with the skills that he already has, he's going to be able to go fast, and of course be a good res tank as well. But really surprised by his attack load out there. Just 37, not bad at all. Moving on to Tethys, though, I will say I'm a little bit disappointed, but then again, when it comes to a ranged dancer, it's to be expected. But a ranged dancer like her, unfortunately for her, she has only 27 attack, which already substantially lower in some regard to other dancers, especially some other ranged dancers out there. We're not going to talk about them. Instead, we're just going to talk about that she also has a Super Bane in that. So, meaning that, if you happen to roll her and get unlucky, you're going to be rocking a Tethys with 23 attack total. That is not good. Not good at all. Though, however, she does have some good res and some decent speed. So if you happen to, maybe get Glacies or Iceberg, you could probably run a pretty good res tank. She should be a good support. She is a dancer after all. And, you usually want to give your turn to another unit anyways. So, honestly, not terribly bad, but that is an abysmal attack stat, especially if you get a Super Bane in it. Ouch. Then, of course, we have the fanfic boys over there. And, no surprise there. They're all about attack, and guess what they have? They have a Super Boon in attack. What a surprise. Nothing too crazy there, but, by which I mean, it's pretty much common when it comes to the big units in any banner there. So, yeah, run with it. And honestly, when it comes to speed, doesn't matter. They have that ability. They can just easily get a follow-up without too much of a hassle. Just probably avoid the Super Bane in it, because, you don't want to be doubled. And they do have a good defense, and if you happen to get res and get a Super Boon res, that could also be a pretty good res tank too, if you want to build them that way. Not too bad, not too shabby for them. Good enough as it is. I would say that, of course, all of the units are decent enough, but Tethys kind of just falls a little bit down further. I'm actually really happy to see Garrick. Just amazed to see, of course, Leon actually get another character, even if it is kind of like a side alt. I don't know what to say about that. But hey, you know, super boons and attacks for everyone, especially if you happen to be a duo unit. Alright, let's move on to the free, well, not free, the 3 and 4 star unit first, actually. And that, of course, is Ross, guys. And I'm gonna say, Ross is actually the biggest surprise out of this banner because holy crap is he a monster when it comes to stats. Guys, 3 and 4 stars, sure, I will just say that his normal kit is not great. Not great at all. Fire Boost is finally available at 4 stars, and I'm sure everyone in the crowd is going insane. But 38 attack, yeah, that's pretty high. Not only that, but he gets a super boon in that, so yeah, you could really make him go places with that. Not only that, but he also gets a super boon in res, meaning that you can bump him up to 28 res, and he can also duo tank at least res and, well, tank some mages in that regard too. Not bad altogether, should make a good unit, and is actually really nice to see that they're actually giving, you know, lesser units in 3 and 4 star pool more stats than what I was expecting. I honestly expected him a lot less BST, but good for him. He got really, really good stats at least, and really matches his Sacred Stones at least. For me, you know, his Sacred Stones appearance, because at least in my game, he was an absolute monster. Now, let's move on to Cormag, shall we? Now, your next free unit is, of course, Cormag, and I will say when it comes to his stat lineup, not terribly bad, not exactly amazing, good enough for anyone who wants to build him. He's very similar to Valter. In fact, he has a little bit more attack, a little bit more speed, and I believe some more res as well. It's really it's really up to debate if you really want to go that extra mile. If you really love Cormag, I think you can make him into something amazing. His stats alone are impressive, at least in that. But I will say, not exactly the most amazing GHB unit when it comes to stats alone. He does have a good enough kit. He has Dull Close 3 and Defense Opening 3, which, well, Dull Close, of course, is his 4 star, but I will say Defense Opening, bringing that into the free-to-play sphere is not bad either. And unfortunately, you will need to use feathers to get that, but still, good enough kit. Slaying Lance as well. If you do decide to use him, I would say he will serve you very well. But the problem is, of course, you might end up comparing him to Valter, and Valter does have his own weapon, Cursed Lance, and it is preferential, a little bit more might, and of course buffs him as well, but at the expense of, you know, his health. So it's really, you know, it's going to be a close one there in that. I was going to say in that regard, but I don't want to say it again. Help me. This migraine is killing me. Anyways, guys, I'm really sorry that this is just how it's going, but hey, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and it's been a lot of fun. I want to know what you guys think of these stats and how well you're going to go with not only the new weapons, if you're going to go for new characters, and if you're going to go for Cormag, or if you're going to build Ross at all. Because while Ross is fun, you know, I'm pretty sure you're going to be throwing out most of his kit. Either way, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. Sorry for the mistake earlier. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to, you know, subscribe if you like Fire Emblem Heroes, and maybe leave a like if you enjoyed my craziness while I have this insane migraine. So, see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, and I love you all very much.